What's up, guys? I go by Ultra, and today I'm gonna do a little deep dive on everything that has happened when it comes to Gypsy trying to be an influencer. But the people that are surrounding her and the whole community at large that talks about Gypsy is quite insane. When Ken actually got with a Gypsy, that's when people were like, oh my gosh, this shattered their idea of Gypsy. Ken actually wrote to Gypsy after he watched the series Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. They got together in 2017. He proposed in 2018. However, they did split up by 2019. They got back together shortly again, only to split up again. They've had 2 breakups before present day. Gypsy's family has been heavily involved in their relationship, and they can be seen in the prison photos together. Gypsy ended up getting with Ryan Anderson in 2022, shortly split up with him, as you guys know, and Gypsy said herself, just because I wasn't loyal in my marriage doesn't mean that I'm not a loyal person. So that shows that she really knew that what she was doing was wrong. It was hurtful to other people.
Will it be a Blanchard? Will it be an Anderson? Will it be a Urker? If Ryan is kind, that could be a possibility, but if Ryan wants to fight it, then it makes it really hard. Ryan knows he's not the father.
Guys, regardless, I'm gonna have to get a DNA test, because of the law.
And they did certainly have a contentious divorce without the extra drama from content creators. In fact, there were restraining orders that were filed. And this is a very common thing that abusers do in order to silence their victims. Ryan was devastated by the end of their relationship and said that he would pursue in the courts what he believes to be adultery. Ken, on the other hand, has stated that he's just an average Joe and he's really not looking to make money or profit off of Gypsy, and he denies that he was ever in a Facebook fan page for Gypsy before. While Ryan is stifling and has maladaptive behaviors, he does appear to be genuine and authentic, although there's something wrong with both of these men, because why would they want to write to this woman to begin with? It's just really odd. Ken was sending payments to other men on Venmo, which were very sexual in nature, and people believe that he was paying for favors. Ken is just the guy that Gypsy's with now, but he's definitely not the one. But Gypsy originally reached out to content creators because she wanted her story told a specific way. She made mistakes with who she actually spoke to. It almost always backfired. The first person was Fancy Macelli, who owns the Good Wives network. Gypsy actually sent her a ton of her medical records, and Fancy had promised Gypsy that she's gonna make a documentary that portrays her in a positive light. But that's not what happened, because Fancy just did not have the skill, the talent, or the connections to pull off such a project. She was struck by what was in those medical records and the inconsistencies, and this is where the chromosome disorder theory comes from Fancy Macelli. Gypsy felt that she was trapped in a contract with Fancy and that her contract was being breached. So that's when a lawsuit began. The crime scene photos that Fancy first released on her channel ended up going viral On July 27th, which was actually Gypsy's birthday, which was very ironic, I sort of viewed this as a way for the fans to sour her birthday because those crime scene photos were there all along. The timing of them was just very strange. It just kind of seemed like they didn't want her to enjoy her special day. Fancy had actually released these on her Patreon. She was saying that she has nothing to do with this and it's not her fault that these were released.
All the credibility when it comes to Fancy has gone out the window, and I don't know how much of a hero, how much of an expert she is on Gypsy Rose. Once you lose trust in a content creator.
Gypsy actually did have a relationship with Flawless Nina before the Panini Press incident. Nina used to be a beauty influencer, and she's quite talented in makeup artistry, and she was the individual that said that she felt like Gypsy was using her to send messages to Nicholas Godejohn saying, "My co-defendant." They would talk privately and DMs and communicate, but then things quickly did not work out between them. That's why Gypsy's probation officer said that she needed to get off of social media because she would have a lifetime to make documentaries and she's not allowed to advocate for Nick in any way. The Panini Press incident revolves around Flawless Nina because Ken was being friendly to Nina in a live, who tends to record all of their TikTok videos. He was saying that he's a bartender and she can come have a drink, and then Nina was saying that Ken was flirting with her. She's always kind of coming for Gypsy and for Ken, and her whole channel basically revolves around Gypsy content. And I have seen her attempt to make other kinds of content, but it doesn't seem to really go that well for her. So that led to Gypsy clarifying that Nina was Panini pressed and that Ken was a Chad and he would not touch her with a 10-foot pole. This actually ended up going viral, and Nina was one of the first people to report on the questions about Ken's sexuality. She also reported on the gender of the baby before it had been released by Gypsy and her camp. Some people feel that the conflict between Nina and Gypsy has gone too far and it's become too personal, and Nina has been harmed in the process by this. She was receiving messages likening her to a gorilla, saying that she's overweight and lazy, 10 pounds of makeup on her face, and it appeared that these messages came from very close to the source. Nina continues to be a very interesting influencer, entertaining, and she does report very good content about Gypsy Rose. Some people think that she's just way too hyper focused on Gypsy and she needs to move on with her life and find somebody else to comment on. Speaking of influencers, Gypsy actually appeared on a spin-off show on Hulu with the Kardashians, where she was talking to Kim Kardashian about getting hate online, and she was asking for advice on how to deal with it. She also expressed that she felt remorse about the unaliving of her mother. I did not feel that this was a genuine revelation. There's nothing that she added that we hadn't heard before. She just didn't give us very much. The Kardashians have already been extremely judged because of their ever-changing appearance. Kim has gotten a substantial amount of plastic surgery, and so has Kylie, to the point where Kylie is 26 years old. A lot of people think that she appears to be much older than her age, so she was crying on the spin-off saying that people are so mean to her. It felt very hypocritical that they built an empire based on their looks and they were crying about this. So to invite Gypsy on the show, who unalived her mother, was just going very, very far, and fans did not like that at all. Another low moment for the Kardashians. Kardashians have been having a ton of troubles lately. Kim for a while was saying that she's doing positive things, she's gonna become an attorney, and I have not heard anything about that. Really, all I've seen about Kim is drama and negative things. Their little closet, which was full of used and disgusting clothes, just came off extremely greedy. Another thing that Gypsy tried to do for publicity only was Habitat for Humanity. Gypsy had actually offered to volunteer her time or send a donation to Habitat for Humanity because they had built her that house. Habitat for Humanity declined, and they took the high road because they did so much labor for Gypsy. They chose to say that if this is being done publicly and it doesn't come from the heart, they just did not want to respond to it or be associated with it. There's so much strength in that. The fact that they provided Gypsy and her mom with so much, they are really sticking to their morals. It doesn't matter if she gives them a ton of money or she gives them publicity. They just built that home because that's what they do to help people. Number one drama that's going on right now surrounds a woman online who's an amputee, and she goes by AdaptiveKate or Kate Marie, and she had been stating that she is a victim of Munchausen by proxy and she lost her leg because of her mother lying to doctors. And she said that Gypsy had a changing story and that it sounded eerily similar to her story, especially the part that said that she was mentally incapacitated. Everybody rallied around AdaptiveKate, including Flawless Nina, because they felt so sorry for her, and they all said that they had only known one person that survived Munchausen by proxy. All the others had died that they were aware of, and Kate was this person. Allegedly, Gypsy was bullying her and silencing her, calling her Peggy Leggy. Kate was asked, how did Gypsy silence her? She said that she posted the same videos after, which didn't make a ton of sense, this explanation. Kate said that she lost her leg because she was bitten by an alligator and that this fact was 100% true. Even Flawless Nina said that this was a red flag. She was punching the camera with her little nub and all of the stories of how she had lost her leg.
You just got nub slapped.
This person had my number.
Yeah.
You know, this person I let vent.
So Kate Marie actually said that she talked to Gypsy on the phone for a few hours and ended up befriending her, which caused people to immediately turn on her, and she's actually deleted her social media because of it.
I spent 2 hours on the phone with her and I learned a good bit about Gypsy. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. She wants to change things, she wants advocacy, she wants awareness, and she wants to do good in this world.
Kate was never a Munchausen by proxy syndrome victim. In fact, her and her mother have a good relationship, despite the fact that Kate is making these horrible allegations. She was actually the one that stole Gypsy's story. Some people believe that Gypsy's story is fake, and Kate went off of a fake story from Gypsy in order to have likes and views. And even Flawless Nina said that she felt violated because she had given out her phone number to this individual, Kate Marie. So it's just allbad.com. Another influencer that Gypsy partnered with was Without a Crystal Ball, who is also known as Katie Joy. And she has been covering the story of Gypsy, and her channel took off when she worked on a Netflix documentary series about the 7M dance cult. Katie Joy has actually been accused of being a liar and being defamatory, and she's frequently getting stuck in lawsuits because of her own behavior. Viewers have criticized her for showing the personal information of private people and looking for deeds, marriage licenses, and all these various documents that can be found for the family members of the influencers that she's covering, and also the fact that she does not show her taxes.
She might not appreciate the things that I've reported on her cousins.
Whenever Katie Joy has a conflict come at her, she tends to deflect by stating that she's being doxxed, that her house is being swatted.
No one wants to speak up for me because they're so afraid of the mob.
They're so afraid that if they do want to say something about me and they do support me, they're so afraid of these nasty trolls.
And another influencer called CC Suarez, who is a well-known commentary creator, made a deep dive on Katie where she exposed the fact that she spoke to Katie very professionally, and Katie was telling people in chat that CC was coming at her very viciously, and so it was shown that this was in fact a lie. It was not true.
Katie Joy is a complete lunatic. She's lying about me being nasty to her in emails. You could say that, oh, well, that's her opinion. That's how she interpreted it. Well, she interpreted it wrong.
Katie made a disgusting gesture when she was discussing a sensitive private topic that had to do with children, and people did not like that at all. Katie and Gypsy actually started off having some kind of relationship. Then Katie flipped on Gypsy. Ryan had said early on that he does not like Katie Joy.
You cannot have him screaming like that!
I don't blame him because I don't like her either. She's not very likable in general as a person, and the fact that she's amassed such a large following is very surprising. Another thing that Katie was saying was that the baby could very well be Ryan's. Gypsy created a baby registry in which she put multiples of certain very large or expensive items such as strollers or a changing table, and it looked like the entire baby registry had been sold out. This was not the case because TMZ actually reported that trolls were trying to communicate with Gypsy and flood her with negative messages. The baby registry just added to it way more. So in conclusion, a lot has happened with Gypsy's foray into influencer life. The more I learned about the people surrounding her, the more sus I feel about all of them. It seems like Gypsy didn't stand a chance because she wanted positive PR, but she picked the worst people possible. And it doesn't surprise me that the people that follow her are just estranged and damaged because she did unalive her mother. Most regular people would not want to keep on top of this topic. I do cover this topic sometimes, but I do cover 90 Day Fiancé and Love After Lockup as well, so I try not to just pigeonhole myself into this topic about Gypsy Rose. There are channels that just have their entire career, it seems like, based on Gypsy. Nina is one of those. Not only is Gypsy very volatile, but so is her entire community. And all of these plot lines have made Ryan Anderson look better and better, and like he is the normal one in this scenario. She just lives in the fast lane, and I'm sure that more will happen before my next video. I'm very curious what you guys think about everything that's happened with her post-release. Let me know in the comments. Love you guys so much. Bye, guys.